Every day, men do far worse things than anything I've allegedly done. And what happens to them? Nothing.
Hello, my name is Laverne Cox.
Hi, I'm Katie Lowe's.
And I'm chatting all things inventing Anna with Cosmo.
Anna ordered like generational wealth. Regions, years, Anna belonged. Anna was society.
I was aware of the Anna Delvey story before I was attached to it. I'm a born, raised New Yorker, and a lot of my friends, there was some buzz going on about this con artist who was a young girl who had told all these New York socialites that she was worth millions of dollars and now she was going to jail. So I had heard a few mumblings of the story beforehand.
I was only vaguely familiar with the Anna Delvey story before I was approached by Shonda. And so I started with Jessica Pressler's article, and then I just started devouring everything I could about the story. It's really juicy, and it's hard not to sort of really be wrapped up in it. I went to YouTube and I went to Google and did a lot of reading, and I just did a deep dive and on Kacy and a deep dive on the story, and never stopped being obsessed with either. The person in prison is not Anna Delvey, not the person we knew. Anna Delvey doesn't exist. That person in Rikers is somebody else, somebody who was pretending to be Anna Delvey. Production put me in touch with Kacy, and I had the privilege of training with her. She's a personal trainer. And then after our first session, we went and had a 4-hour lunch. Getting to know her as a human being, wanting to infuse as much of her story and her history and the sensation of that into telling this story was really important to me. And I think there are a lot of Black women specifically, but I think a lot of people who are brilliant and amazing and that we don't know about. I've just never played someone and then have them watch the performance. I'm very nervous. I hope she's happy.
Playing a real person versus playing a fictional character definitely, for me, added pressure. It just adds pressure. But I tried very early on to let myself off the hook. I am not playing Jackie O. I'm not playing a famous person that every single somebody knows who they talk like or walk like or look like or dress like. I'm playing a girl that isn't a household name. So even though I felt a lot of pressure playing a real person, I also tried to let myself off the hook and really understand that I was playing a character in this situation. You're meeting Rachel Williams in this story not early on in her life, and you're not meeting her now. You're meeting her at the moment in her life that she says on the stand is during the worst thing that's ever happened to her.
I mean, we're not just gonna stay in the hotel and not see Marrakesh, right?
Well, it's one of the best hotels in the world. We have whatever we need here. Why would we leave?
So we filmed in Morocco, in the actual location where Rachel Williams was conned out of her money. And it affected everything I did. It was the greatest gift to be able to actually go to Morocco and feel how Rachel felt. She was terrified. She felt fear. She felt like she was going to be arrested in a foreign country. Rachel Williams was terrified and also had never been in a hotel like that. I mean, La Mamounia is the most extravagant, incredible hotel. So it was easy to go there. It was so awesome to shoot and be so influenced by the wealth, by Marrakesh, by feeling like a foreigner, by feeling like you were gonna get kicked out, by feeling like they were gonna call the cops, by feeling like that fear and those stakes were all made so real for me by being able to shoot there.
She told me everything, and I'm telling you, Anna Delvey had no use for sex. She was not into it. Anna was from another planet when it came to normal bodily urges. We had to play tennis, and so, all the prep that I forget that I do sometimes. So I had tennis lessons, and I've been a tennis fan my whole life, but I never actually played, and I definitely want to play again. So I had a couple of tennis lessons to prep for the 20 seconds of tennis we have on screen.
Look, looks like she's loving every minute of it.
She said it was really good for a while.
For a while. What happened?
I mean, I just think the show is fun and thrilling and anxiety inducing. There's moments that feel like a thriller where you're sort of on the edge of your seat, even though even though I knew what was going to happen, I was still like, no, and I'm rooting for it not to happen, and then I'm rooting for Anna to get her loan, and I'm like, it's just this strange journey you go on.
The cool thing about this whole show is that Shonda's treating the audience like they're really smart people and you got to figure it out for yourself. You have no idea who's the anti-hero or who's the villain or who's right or who's wrong. It's playing in this gray area the whole time, especially with Rachel.
The indictment reads like a novel. The charges, the arena, the players are insane. We are talking big banks, financial advisors, hedge funds, law firms, real estate developers, philanthropists, galleries, art dealers, all of Fashion Week and half of New York society. And she's 26 years old.
I have to say the most challenging part to film was definitely the testimony on the stand. We did it over 2 days. And when I'm being cross-examined by Todd Spodek, played by the incredible Arian Moayed, it was really intense. And I remember rehearsing it and doing a take, and the writer, Matt Byrne, who was a writer on Scandal, also coming up to me and saying, oh, no, I was in the courtroom when Rachel did her testimony, and it's not like just crying. It's like ugly sobbing, like the way you sob when no one's watching. And I just remember being like, okay, here we go.
Fire Festival. Fire with a Y. That's the name of your thing?
The letter Y is rare and important in numerology.
You're serious?
Julia is really funny. Julia does amazing accents. She does an incredible Britney Spears impersonation that will floor you. I mean, Katie and I, because we have so many scenes together, we spend so much time, and Katie's hilarious. Katie's a kiki. Katie's kind of everything. So yeah, we had a good time.
My best memory from set is the entire time we got to shoot in Morocco. It was the best. Staying in La Mamounia was the best. I got to bring my husband, I got to bring my baby, and just hang out with Julia and Laverne Cox and Chris Lowell and Nzinga Stewart, who directed it, and Jess Brownell, who wrote the episode, and it was just incredible. I'll never forget it. Also, it was the last international trip I took before the pandemic, so it has a real special place in my heart.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you picked up. I really need to get a flight. I can pay you back.
Of course, sweetheart. I'm on the site already.
Kacy,
Yeah?
can you buy me a first class ticket?
Child.
I formed such a bond with Julia Garner working on this project. But I think also when we got to set, we knew that we had to create this Rachel-Anna Delvey friendship real quickly. And so when we started working together, it was just immediately like connection and hand-holding and hugging, and our voices were going up 10 octaves when we would see each other, and it was just it felt very Rachel and Anna. I love working with Julia. I love you, Julia Garner.
You know, I think one of the more contentious moments with Anna was when her unexpected visit, her unannounced visit to my apartment when I was in the midst of getting my groove back, as you say, as one does. And you know, there's in a way I didn't have to really act that. I just had to sort of be in the circumstances of, I mean, could you imagine having a hot man upstairs and then there's this young girl who needs to sleep over and you're like, are you insane?
Thanks for watching, and catch the show on Netflix now.